You may be seated. Good morning and welcome to Wharton's commencement ceremony for our doctoral graduates. Today is a special day for so many reasons. We come together to celebrate your monumental achievements and mark an important guidepost on your educational and professional journeys. Today would not be possible without the support of a multitude of people, many of whom are here today to celebrate you. So without further ado, let me welcome our guests. Welcome to the faculty and staff who are here today in support of our students. Welcome to the families, friends, and loved ones joining us to celebrate this monumental occasion. And most of all, welcome to our amazing Wharton PhD graduates. It is fortuitous that we convene here today to honor this esteemed group of individuals, because right now, the world is in need of scholars like you who will challenge conventional ways of thinking and doing. We are living in a time of great uncertainty, and we face global challenges at a scale and level of urgency previously unseen. We are simultaneously wrestling with the impacts of climate change, the proliferation of misinformation, inequitable access to health care, and volatile financial markets. At the same time, the world is increasingly looking to the business arena for leadership and answers to our escalating global challenges. As crises evolve and unforeseen challenges come to the fore, Wharton PhDs are uniquely poised to answer this call. You are the product of the largest business PhD program in the world, and the intellectual heft you will bring to the academy and the business community is unmatched. You are the scholars who will blaze new trails and uncover the evidence-based knowledge that is most needed for our futures. But your potential for impact also comes with a duty to discover and disseminate insights in a responsible way. Responsible research isn't just about acting ethically when collecting data. It is also about recognizing changing social values and the principle that business can and should be leveraged as a force for good. Forward-thinking business scholars like you must consider the impacts of business action on our natural world and the people who inhabit it, and ensure that the people, communities, and societies that are less resource-rich are not left behind. Of course, these are not foreign concepts to any of you, because engaging in responsible, impactful research is the hallmark of the Wharton PhD experience. Responsible research is the very ethos of this exceptional institution. It is the embodiment of Joseph Wharton's founding vision to prepare leaders for business and public service who would make a positive impact in the world. Your Wharton education has prepared you to generate scholarly and societal impact. You know how to think analytically and creatively to push the boundaries of your field of study. You have been exposed to a wide, diverse range of ideas and have learned to explore challenges from every possible angle. And you've worked alongside peers and mentors who will continue to support you throughout your career and will become lifelong friends. Your research will inform other scholars, influence what is taught to students in colleges and graduate schools, and has the potential to impact economies, communities, and public policy around the world. In other words, your responsibly crafted and executed research will drive transformative change. That is an awesome responsibility, but also an invigorating one. As you leave Wharton and pursue new intellectual pursuits, I hope that you bring the values of responsible research with you. I challenge you to take on the subjects and issues that are not usually explored. And I urge you to keep asking and answering the questions that will advance society and lift people up in the world. Congratulations to our doctoral graduates. May you continue to generate impactful new knowledge and find success in all that you do. Now it is my pleasure to introduce Wharton's Deputy Dean and Professor of Management, Nancy Rothbard.
Thank you, Dean James, for that warm welcome and introduction. I'd like to extend my own very heartfelt welcome to the doctoral graduates here today, to your families and friends, and to everyone who has supported you and accompanied you on the long journey that you have made to reach this moment. Because achieving a doctorate is a journey. Today is the culmination of years of work, of pursuing your curiosity, following your ideas, and charting your own unique course. This is a journey that will continue as you forge ahead and on into your careers in scholarship, inquiry, and education. Today marks the start of that future. Today, it also feels right to reflect on how each of you began that journey. As undergraduates, even as high school students, I wonder how many of you imagined this precise moment when you're just starting out, applying to college, taking your first tentative steps on this adventure. Did you think you'd make it? Well, from where I'm standing, it very much looks like you did. Congratulations. In reflecting on the academic journey, both as a doctoral student and throughout an academic career, I'm struck by how it has parallels to a mythic journey that is embedded in our modern culture, Homer's Odyssey. Yes, the Odyssey, and you thought that the only Greek that you would ever encounter would be in your stat or econometric classes. But no, the Odyssey is the story of Odysseus, king of the Greek city-state of Ithaca. Odysseus is returning home after the Trojan War, but he's blown off course by storms. As he makes his journey home, he encounters various mythical creatures, including the Cyclops, who he evades through clever stratagems. He gets captured by the witch Circe, who turns his sailors into pigs, and he must use his powers of persuasion to let them all go. He navigates the beauty and danger of the island of the Sirens by plugging the ears of his sailors with beeswax and tying himself to the mast of the ship so that he and his sailors won't jump overboard and drown trying to swim to shore, lured by the beautiful singing voices. Does any of this sound familiar? Odysseus is successful in part because of his curiosity, ingenuity, and resilience, and in part because of the relationships and the advice of others. These themes resonate tremendously with me as I think about the highs and the lows of a doctoral journey and an academic career. Just like us, Odysseus, who is a master strategist, also needs to learn to improvise, to drop a plan and start from scratch. Just like us, he needs to persist and overcome obstacles.
Just like us, he is compelled to explore interesting new phenomena like the Cyclops Cave or Circe's Island. Just like us, he needs to stay open to the beauty and awe of the siren song of new ideas, but find a way not to jump overboard and drown. Just like us, Odysseus is the architect of his own destiny, often operating without a map. And it is these qualities of adventure, autonomy, and resilience that are the hallmarks of the journey that you have been on. But Odysseus must also rely on the help of others. Interestingly, there's a part of the story where Odysseus' old friend, Mentor, is placed in charge of his son, Telemachus, helping and guiding him. The goddess Athena even gets in on the action, masquerading as Mentor at one point, as Greek gods and goddesses were wont to do. He is able to hear the siren song only because his sailors agree to plug their own ears and keep rowing past the island, not untying him until they are past the danger zone, no matter how much he begs them to divert their course. The journey that all of us here share in academia has its roots in curiosity, as we need to navigate without a map. The journey continues as we build rigorous scholarship and new ideas through persistence and resilience in the face of obstacles. And it is enhanced through the mentoring relationships and friendships that we build with advisors and peers. Indeed, all of this has resonated with me personally this year, as my own daughter, Becca, has applied to college. Becca will be starting at university this fall at the school that I attended. And you may wonder, what does starting one's undergraduate journey have to do with the doctoral journey, the academic career, or at the very least, the Odyssey? Trust me, there's a link. Becca and I chose this school for the same reason. Because unlike many schools where there are lots of distribution requirements, this school has what's called the open curriculum. There are no requirements to follow any specific track or set of subjects. It's a school where you chart your own course, where you follow your own odyssey. The autonomy that's associated with pursuing your own odyssey can be hard for some who need more structure. For me, it was mostly liberating, having the ability to be the architect of my own destiny and map my own way forward. Attending the student welcome call with Becca and listening to the president talk about independence, about going deep into your own interests and architecting your own education, reminded me of how well that kind of education had prepared me for my own doctoral journey and academic career. And it made me think about what it takes to pursue a doctoral education, to become a faculty member, and to succeed in this profession. Architecting your own education can be terrifying. Just like Odysseus, this kind of academic autonomy enables you to follow your passion, but at the same time, it can make it easy to get lost. Inevitable, really. One can spend a year on Circe's island, delving deep into the magic of an intriguing idea. Or maybe one can be lured off course by the awe-inspiring music of the sirens, such that one starts to drown in the sea of too many new ideas, instead of finishing the ones you have. Losing one's path happens in academic life, and you need to build the skills and the muscle of resilience in order to find your way back. Along the way, you may unearth new or hidden insights, and this too is part of your odyssey. Doctoral education is hard because of the autonomy, because of the discretion it affords you, and because it can feel very much like operating without a map. But it's also wonderful for the very same reasons. This is a career that enables you to follow your passion and the questions that obsess you. It's a career that gives you the freedom to ask whatever you want, because there are no bad questions. Now, it could be that the question you're asking is ahead of its time, and people will need to catch up. Or it could be that you're behind the curve, and you need to listen and find out what's been done. But here's the thing. If you think something is interesting enough to explore, it's very probable that someone else will too. Odysseus was not the only one that was curious about the Cyclops cave or Circe's island, or what the song of the siren sounded like. Scholarship is a world that invites and challenges you to follow ideas freely, to spark and share curiosity, and to chart your own course and your own career. And that is an extraordinary gift. When I look at my career, my academic odyssey, what is clear is that making time for my research has always been a priority, quite simply because it is the engine that drives my curiosity. It is the fuel for my passion and scholarship. And scholarship is a career that you can pursue for a lifetime. Because even as you find answers to the questions you have now, there are always new ones. Today, I'd ask you all to recognize that you've done something really hard. You've taken an amazing odyssey just to be here today. But that journey is truly only beginning, and it will last a lifetime. Being here with you today, I'm so excited for your next step. As you graduate and claim your doctorates, it feels very much like a passing of the baton from our generation to yours. You are the next generation of scholars and thinkers and question askers. It is to you that we entrust our legacy, and you that we now look to for the discovery of new answers and new questions. And as this generational wheel turns, we pass the baton to you with pride, with hope, and with great curiosity as to what you will do next. Today, as we officially welcome you to our community of academic curiosity, as we welcome you into our family and fold, I feel more than ever that the future is in the best possible of hands. My warmest and most heartfelt congratulations to you all. Thank you. Now, it is my pleasure to introduce the Vice Dean for Wharton Doctoral Programs, Nancy Zhang.
Thank you to our deans, Professor Erika James and Professor Nancy Rothbard, for your beautifully heartfelt remarks. And it's such a warm and lovely day for our graduation. It's nice to see all of you. With COVID being a thing of the past, last year we still had a math mandate at the graduation, and now we can have a very proper celebration without masks, without social distancing, and we can now shake hands, give each other hugs, and stand together for pictures. This delightful back to normal celebration certainly betrays the extraordinarily abnormal doctoral journey that you, our graduates, undertook. As I am sure that you remember the day 3 years ago when you were told that the university went into lockdown. Now, most of you were in your second or third years at that time, and it was a critical juncture at the start of your journey as a researcher. In your apartments, in front of your laptops, you sought the resources to continue. You were at the take-off phase of your research projects, full of snags and stumbles and self-doubt. And the fact that you are here today is a testament to your diligence and your tenacity through these hard times. Not only did you keep on track, I know that many of you have also stepped up to help others in need. So you should be very proud of yourselves. You are very deserving of the honor that you are receiving today. And to the families and friends out here in the audience, thank you for patiently supporting our graduates. I am so happy to see you here, and I'm sure that this is a special day for you as well. So the PhD hooding ceremony is a very special ceremony. As a society, we in 2023 are not very ritualistic. We have done away with many rituals and many formalisms. But I am glad that we kept this one, because the PhD hooding is a ritual not only to recognize the milestone that you, our graduates, have reached as a scholar, it is also symbolic of the truly special relationship between you and your mentors here at Wharton. As you start your careers in the years to come, you will also find yourself serving as mentors to younger versions of yourselves. And as our mentors out here in the audience can testify, you will find that this is both a very privileged role as well as a role that involves a lot of hard work. So we have a lot of degrees to confer. I will just keep my remarks short by just ending with a very brief personal reflection. I want to share that recently I made a pilgrimage back to Stanford, where I got my PhD in June of 2005. I call it a pilgrimage because to me, Stanford is a special place. It was where I grew up intellectually. At my graduation 18 years ago, I don't remember having that feeling that it was a special place. Perhaps like you at this moment, I was just very happy to be done. But more than a decade later, I get to go home every so often, and every trip back home feels very special. So just like 20 years ago, I knocked on the doors of my professors. They are now my longtime friends. I was a little tentative when I knocked on their doors, just like 20 years ago. I did not know what would be the reaction. They were glad to see me. They welcomed me into their offices. We caught up on old times, and they shared with me the research that they have done in recent years, the mathematical theorems that they have proved, their joyous fixations, and ramblings that are as comprehensible to me today as they were 20 years ago when I was a student. But what was clear to me, looking at each other, that they have accumulated wrinkles and gray hairs with time. And it must be that to them, I did as well. What inspired me in these conversations is that my professors of yesteryear have continued to reinvent themselves as scholars, as scientists. I would not have predicted 20 years ago what they would have worked on today. And I hope that was the case for them of me. I have continued to reinvent myself as a scholar, as a scientist. This may be your last graduation, so let that sink that in. It is your last graduation. And the next time you attend a graduation, you might be on the other side of the aisle. But I hope that you will see yourself as a student for life, because that's what we are in our profession. Yet, unlike our research, which is ever-changing, with each passing year, I feel my relationships with my advisors and colleagues only deepen with time. And that is what I hope for you. When each of you come up to get your diplomas and get your hooded, I will announce your thesis title for everyone to hear. And that may define you as a researcher today, but I hope that you only treat it as a launch pad for new topics to investigate tomorrow. But I hope that the friendships that you have built at Wharton will be the invariant in your life and stay with you and deepen in the years to come. So again, congratulations to all of you. So now, without further ado, what you have all been waiting for, let's start the hooding ceremony. So here are some instructions, so listen carefully. Okay, so the graduates will carry their hoods over your left arm onto the stage. And after I call your name, both the graduate and your advisor, who will hood you, advisors, will meet at the center of the stage. You will give your hood to your advisors, who will place it over your head, and then The Deputy Dean, Nancy, will give you your certificate, and then you will pose for a photo. And then the graduates and the advisor can exit the stage together. Okay? So we will start with accounting. Our first graduate from accounting is Sin-Tae Kim. Sin-Tae's dissertation title is Investor Preferences and Responses to Disclosure, Evidence from Carbon Net Zero Pledges. Sin-Tae's advisor is Christopher Ittner and Lucy Hale, and Christopher Isner will hood. Our next graduate from accounting is Bradford Levy. Bradford's dissertation title is Hidden Mandatory Disclosure. Bradford's advisors are Daniel Taylor and Robert Holthausen, and Daniel Taylor will hood. Next, we will have graduates from applied economics. Our first graduate is Ching-Ching Chen. Ching-Ching's dissertation is The Ripple Effects of Technology Protectionism on an International Innovation Ecosystem, Evidence from the US Sanctions on Huawei in an International Telecommunications Standard-Setting Organization. Ching-Ching's advisor is David Xu, and David Xu will hood. Our next graduate is Tianfang Cui. Tianfang's dissertation title is Essays in Housing Economics. Tianfang's advisor is Fernando Ferreira, and Fernando will hood. Our next graduate is Samuel Hughes. Samuel's dissertation title is Essays in Rental Housing Finance and Urban Economics. Samuel's advisor is Benjamin Keyes, and Benjamin will hood. Our next graduate is from now going on to the Department of Ethics and Legal Studies. Our next graduate is Samuel Mortimer. Samuel's dissertation is titled Work, a Philosophical Investigation. And Samuel will be hooded by his advisor, Amy Seppenwell. I'm sorry, Samuel's advisor is Amy Seppenwell. Sam will be hooded by Catherine Klein. Our next graduate is Tabitha Celeste Mustafa. And Tabitha's dissertation is titled Business, Ethics, and Racial Injustice. And Tabitha's advisor is Anita Allen, and they will be hooded by Eric Orts. Next, we will go on to our graduates from finance. Our first graduate from finance is Chuck Fung. Chuck's dissertation is titled Monetary Policy Amplification Through Bond Fund Flows, and Chuck will be hooded by his advisor, Itai Goldstein. Our next graduate from finance is Anthony Anyosa Galvez. Anthony's dissertation is International U.S. Monetary Policy Transmission Through Non-U.S. Banks, and he will be hooded by his advisor, Urban Yerman. Our next graduate is Felix Knocker. Felix's dissertation is titled Essays on Imperfect Financial Markets, and his advisors are Jules Van Binsbergen and Joel Gomes, and Jules will hood. And next, we are moving on to the Department of Healthcare Management and Economics. We have one graduate from healthcare, and it is Mei-Lin Hua. Mei-Lin's dissertation is titled Managing Behavioral Hazard, Value-Based Insurance Design and Inertia. And Mei-Lin will be hooded by her advisor, Claudio Lucarelli. And next, we have our graduates from management. First from management is Min Soo Baik. Min Soo dissertation title is Cultural Mechanisms of Class Inequality, How Social Class Shapes the Career Choice and Success of Highly Educated Individuals. And Min Soo is hooded by her advisor, Matthew Bidwell. Our next graduate from management is Siwen Chen. Siwen's dissertation is titled 3 Essays on Shareholder Activism and Family Firms. Her advisor is Emily Feldman and Rafi Amit, and Daniel Leventhal-Wood. Our next graduate is Jae-ho Choi. Jae-ho's dissertation is titled No One Ever Steps in the Same River Twice, Exploring the Role of Generalization in Experimental Learning. And Jae-ho is hooded by his advisor, Daniel Leventhal. And next, our graduate is James McGlinch. James' dissertation is titled Powerful Stakeholders and the Management of Corporate Distress. And James's advisor is Witold Henrik, and he is being hooded by Claudine Gartenberg. Our next graduate from management is Daniel Weld. Daniel's dissertation titled Cognitive Micro-Foundations of Industry Foresight and Strategic Commitments, Evidence Within the Global Automotive. And Daniel is being hooded by his advisor, Rahul Kapoor. Next we have our graduates from Operations, Information, and Decisions. And our first graduate is Ariel Anderer. Ariel's dissertation is titled Novel Sequential Decision-Making Strategies in Healthcare Settings. Her advisor is Hamzat Bastani, and she is being hooded by Christian Turwich. Our next graduate from OID is Tolga Disturer. Tolga's dissertation is titled Control and Regulation on Online Service Platforms. Tolga's advisors are Jerry Sokalas and Gerard Kashan, and Gerard Kashan is hooding him. Our next graduate is Christian Capps. Christian's dissertation is titled Understanding the Operational Impact of Storage and Renewables on the Electricity Provision of the Future. And Christian is being hooded by his advisor, Sergei Netesin. Our next graduate is Katie Mayer. Katie's dissertation is titled An Exploration of Online Consumer Rating Systems. And Katie is being hooded by her advisor, Joe Simmons. And next we have Anish Rai. Anish's dissertation title is The Role of Perceptions and Signaling for Increasing Diversity in Organizations. And Anish will be hooded by his advisor, Katie Milkman. And our next graduate is Amandeep Singh. Amandeep's dissertation is titled Essays in Causal Learning and Smartphone Platforms. Amandeep is advised by Kartik Hosanagar, and he is being hooded by Kenneth Moon. Our next graduate is Sirui Wang. Sirui's dissertation is titled Strategies of Technology Adoption for Managing IT-Skilled Labor. And Sirui is being hooded by his advisor, Prasanna Tambe. Our next graduate is Xiaoning Wang. Xiaoning's dissertation is titled From 1 to N, Essays on Social Media, Artificial Intelligence, and Entrepreneurial Scaling. And Xiaoning is being hooded by his advisor, Lin Wu. Congrats. And last but not least, our last graduate from OID, Jiding Zhang. Jiding's dissertation is titled Essays in Online Platform Operations. She was advised by Kenneth Moon and Senthil Viraragawan, and Senthil and Kenneth will hood her. Now, moving on to the Department of Statistics and Data Science. Our first graduate from statistics is Shu Xiao Chen. Shu Xiao's dissertation is titled Learning from Multiple and Heterogeneous Data Sets, and Shu Xiao is being hooded by his advisor, Zhongming Ma. Our next graduate is Emily Ruth Diana. Emily's dissertation is titled Approaches Addressing Algorithmic Bias and Disclosiveness. Emily is advised by Michael Kearns and Aaron Roth, and Michael and Aaron will hood her. Our next graduate is Zhang Gao. Zhang's dissertation is titled Topics in Generalized Correlation Analysis and Clustering. And Zhang will be hooded by his advisor, Zhongming Ma. And last, but certainly not least, we have Hua Wang. Hua's dissertation is titled Topics in Differential Privacy and Statistical Machine Learning. Hua will be hooded by his advisor, Weijie Su. And with that, let's give a big round of applause to all of our graduates. For this truly meaningful and momentous accomplishment. So what comes next is, after the ceremony, we will have a brunch out in the tent, but don't leave yet, because what we're gonna do is to invite all of our PhD students, graduates, to come on stage for a group photo. This is a tradition we have not been able to do because of COVID, but this year we can have a group photo. So, so all the graduates come on stage. You can just, yeah, so maybe if you're tall, stand in the back. If you're, yeah. And Dean Erika and Dean Roth, Nancy, do you want to go and join? Yeah, let's be on the ends. Yeah, yep, that would be good. Thanks. So we'll invite everybody to go stay here. We'll invite everybody to go out to the Annenberg Plaza for brunch.